Scandal News presents a story that everyone thinks they already solved, but the facts tell a different tale. A viral clip shows Trippie Redd standing in a holding area. Another headline screams that Ariela La Langosta.
Bro's a weirdo, bro. He be coming to my sessions, he'll sit there and be quiet, act like a bitch, bro. And gonna say shit, bro. Like, he always in the cut, like, whispering and on some, like, little weird gay shit. Like, bro is not no savage, bro. Like, he's not really about anything, bro. And the fact that I gave this clout
to custody at Miami International Airport on July 4th, tied to a 2023 driver license case. That's it. An airport stop, a bench warrant situation, a few hours of paperwork and bond, and he was out. Weeks later, on August 17th, Ariela was found shot in her vehicle in Mount Vernon. If
6ix9ine comes to LA, it's over.
Random act. Police brought in multiple agencies and locked down details, which usually means they have leads they don't want to scare off. Those two timelines live on different pages. Mix them together and you create a story that feels...
If 6ix9ine comes to LA, it's over.
Why did so many people fuse those events? History. The rivalry between 6ix9ine and Trippie has been messy for years, and the mess left stains. Back in 2017, there were stray lyric changes at shows, public jabs that people still quote, and that infamous hotel incident where associates of 6ix9ine targeted Trippie. Later, in federal court, 6ix9ine testified about violence and tossed out a claim that Trippie was aligned with a rival set. That allegation went everywhere, even though it was one person's statement and never a conviction. People remember the drama, not the footnotes. And when a tragedy hits, old drama gets recycled as fresh motive. Ariela's life deserves more than rumor math. She was a mother, a nightlife figure with a huge following, a worker who finished a shift and started the long drive home. Tributes described a woman who lit up rooms and made strangers feel welcome. Detectives said the attack looked deliberate. Windows shattered. Bullet strikes clustered. The medical examiner confirmed gunshot wounds. The crime scene felt like planning, not impulse. That conclusion explains the silence since. Targeted cases often go dark, while investigators pull quiet threads that don't play well on social media. Meanwhile, 6ix9ine had his own separate legal cloud. In late July, he admitted to violating supervised release over drugs, with a sentencing date set for September. None of that ties to Ariela's homicide, but the proximity of headlines added noise to a story already overloaded with assumptions. People saw Trippie in cuffs, Ariela gone, 6ix9ine back in court. 3 points on a chart became a triangle in the collective imagination. It looks persuasive until you lay the dates flat. Let's put the dates flat. July 4th. Airport arrest on an old license case. August 17th. A targeted killing under active investigation. No police bulletin, no DA statement, no court filing says Trippie was picked up for the homicide. The clip that went viral wasn't fresh evidence. It was recycled fuel. The more it was shared, the more it looked like confirmation. That's how feedback loops turn speculation into supposed certainty. The feud backstory explains why eyes went straight to Trippie. Years of online taunts, the early career business claims about percentages and deals, the club stage callouts, and the hotel ambush that later surfaced in testimony. Taken together, they trained audiences to expect a certain ending. But trained expectation isn't proof. Court testimony can document a fight from 2017 without saying anything about a shooting in 2025. A past diss can show disrespect without proving involvement in a completely separate crime. The neat arc is tempting. The record is messier. Here's what responsible looks like. We label facts clearly. We label speculation clearly. We say, police believe the attack was targeted, and no suspect has been named. We refrain from turning allegations into identities. We draw a hard line between was arrested for a bench warrant and was arrested for murder because those phrases are not interchangeable, no matter how many times a thumbnail uses a red circle and a shocked emoji. We avoid supercharging the algorithm with names and accusations that haven't survived a courtroom. Now, does the wider environment matter? Yes, because it shapes risk. 6ix9ine's years of public feuding, his testimony in the 9 Trey case, and his run of supervised release issues keep his name at the center of storms. People near that orbit pick up wind. That's not a moral claim, just a media reality. In the same way, the 5'9" Brims and other sets have appeared in serious indictments and sentences in recent years, which primes the audience to see gang politics everywhere. But context is not a shortcut to proof. It explains background. It doesn't fill gaps in the evidence. Ariella's story, stripped of noise, is brutally simple. She left work. She drove east. Someone decided she wouldn't reach home. The precision of the attack suggests planning. The lack of public updates suggests patience. Detectives spool data quietly because quiet solves cases. If the case breaks, it will break in court papers, not in comment sections. Until that moment, dragging unrelated old clips into the frame doesn't bring anyone closer to the truth. It just fogs the glass. There's also a human cost to rumor. Families read the same captions you do. Kids see the same recycled footage. Friends wake up to hashtags that turn grief into trending content. Throwing names into that fire without solid footing isn't just risky legally, it's cruel. The internet rewards speed. Justice rewards accuracy. They rarely arrive together. Here, accuracy means accepting that we don't yet know who ordered or carried out the attack, and that anyone telling you otherwise is selling story, not facts. What do we know with confidence today? Authorities called the killing targeted. Multiple agencies are collaborating. Major outlets have reported tributes from Ariella's workplace and from 6ix9ine. Trippie's July custody happened for a driver license warrant, period. 6ix9ine has a September federal sentencing on a supervised release violation, unrelated to Ariella's case. Everything else, alleged grudges, coded messages, decoded captions, is commentary. Some of it may age into evidence. Most of it will evaporate under daylight. That leaves the question people keep whispering. If the internet was wrong about the jail clip, why did the rumor feel so right? Because the brain loves symmetry. A long feud, a shocking killing, a resurfaced arrest. 3 beats that rhyme. Turn them into a neat arc, and you get instant coherence. But life lurches. Real investigations are jagged. They pause for lab work, lurch forward on a plate reader, stall on a subpoena, and jump when a phone finally unlocks. Coherence comes last. There's one more trap to watch. The language of certainty. Words like exposed, revealed, and confirmed work wonders in thumbnails, but they age poorly next to actual dockets. Use them when they fit the record, not the mood. Right now, the record says a targeted killing and a separate airport arrest weeks earlier. Anything stronger is performance. Say it cleaner, and it's still true. A rumor is not a report, and virality is not verification. If you've watched Scandal News for a while, you know we care about pace. So let's move with purpose. The case will update. When it does, we'll walk through verified filings, not whispers. We'll break down affidavits, warrants, timelines, and phone maps in plain language you can play on the way to work. Until then, let's refuse the easy dopamine of a false connection. The story is serious enough without invented glue. Here's the clean takeaway you can repeat without getting burned. Trippie Redd's July airport arrest was about a 2023 license case. Ariella's August death is a targeted homicide under active investigation. Police have not named Trippie as a suspect. 6ix9ine faces a September sentencing on supervised release violations that are separate from Ariella's case. Those are the fixed points. Everything else is fog. And because this is Scandal News, we'll say the quiet part out loud. The internet will keep pushing edits that make the mess look tidy. You'll see captions that promise a smoking gun, audio that swears someone slipped on live, and screenshots of a friend's cousin's DM. Most of that is recycled clout. If a credible break happens, you'll see it reflected in who stands at a podium and who stands before a judge. Stick with us for clarity over clout. If you learned something today, tap subscribe, hit the bell, and drop a comment with the one rumor you're done believing. Share this with a friend who likes fast answers and faster receipts. The story deserves patience. Ariela's family deserves respect. And you deserve reporting that doesn't chase shiny shit. We'll keep it sharp, keep it human, and keep it honest. Every time. Like the video, subscribe to Scandal News, turn on notifications, and tell us what case you want us to verify next. Your share puts real facts ahead of fake heat, and that's how we win the timeline. Let's walk through the Miami arrest cleanly, because details matter. Customs flagged an active Miami-Dade bench warrant when Trippie tried to board an international flight. Deputies met him near the gate, verified the hit, and escorted him to the local detention center. The warrant traced back to a driver license, issue filed in 2023. The amount on the bond was small by celebrity standards. He posted it and left. No weapons charge, no violent charge, no homicide charge. It was the bureaucratic kind of arrest that becomes a viral prop once someone adds dramatic music and a caption that overpromises. Now step into Ariela's car for a second, not to sensationalize, but to understand the stakes. She's on the shoulder. It's morning. The car shows damage that suggests rounds came from outside the vehicle. Forensic teams work scenes like this with patience. They photograph glass patterns. They compare trajectories to estimate shooter position. They pull shell, casings for ballistics. They scrape for trace. They canvass for cameras on entry ramps, service roads, and nearby intersections. They track plate reads from earlier in the night. They pull phone pings for devices that moved with the car. It's unromantic police work, the kind that only looks boring until it maps a path from a trigger to a motive. What about motive theories that swarm comment sections? Some point to jealous rivals. Some insist it's a message to 6ix9ine. Others thread in separate names from nightlife circles. All of those are guesses. Investigations do not run on vibe, they run on evidence. If a text thread, a location ping, or a purchase log connects people to planning, we'll see arrests. If not, we'll hear nothing until the silence breaks. Meanwhile, 6ix9ine's legal timeline adds a mood, not a link. He admitted to violating supervised release by having MDMA and cocaine. A federal judge set a September sentencing. Guidelines suggest months, not decades, though maximums sound scarier on paper. Separate headlines noted prior issues like failed drug tests and travel outside approved zones. None of this places him inside Ariela's car. None of this puts Trippie at the scene. What it does is create an ambient sense of chaos that bad actors and lazy narrators can spin into connection without ever saying the word. Let's rewind the feud, because the internet only remembers the sharpest edges. In 2017, a microphone line change during a performance became a clip that still circulates. Around the same era, Trippie went live after a hotel incident and blamed 6ix9ine's crew. Later, inside a courtroom, 6ix9ine described paying for violence and claimed Trippie had rival ties. That claim has never been proven in court. It sits in the record as a statement from a cooperating witness in a different case. You can acknowledge it exists without pretending it settles anything about this year. Why stress that distinction? Because words like alleged, claimed, and accused are guardrails against turning commentary into defamation. They protect viewers too. When you repeat a lie as a fact, you don't just risk a takedown, you risk someone acting on it. If you want a cleaner culture around these stories, you have to help keep the language honest. Let's also talk about why gang context keeps getting stapled to every headline. In recent years, prosecutors in New York have announced major cases tied to blood-affiliated sets, including 6ix9ine brims and Bloodhound brims. Those press releases are real. They name people. They describe shootings and fraud schemes. The problem is what happens next. Creators lift the label and paste it to any artist who has ever been pictured in red, hung with certain friends, or had their name spoken by a cooperator. That cut-and-paste move might juice engagement, but it doesn't pass the courtroom test. Ariela's public persona complicates the narrative the internet tries to flatten. She worked the door. She tended the bar. She built a following with pictures and clips that mixed glamour with grind. That visibility can blur boundaries. Fans think they know you. Strangers think they can reach you. People project. When tragedy strikes a visible woman, the flood of bad takes can be brutal. Victim blaming, conspiracy building, and clout chasing wrapped as justice. The antidote is simple. Focus on verifiable details and leave people's private grief alone. Here are signals that a rumor is weak. It names no sources. It uses passive voice. It was said. Word is, they say. It leans on screenshots, without context bars. It edits out the timestamp on the video. It shows a mugshot, not a docket. It sells heat, not receipts. When you see that, slow down. Ask for the filing. Ask for the agency. Ask for the date. Rumors hate calendar math. Another reason this rumor sprinted. The clip of Trippie in custody feels cinematic. It offers a face. It offers shackles. It invites you to assign guilt. But custody isn't guilt. It can be as minor as a paperwork snag. It can be unrelated to any headline bouncing around your feed that day. If a page refuses to say what the charge is, that's because the real answer is boring. There's also a pattern in how tragedies get commodified. Step 1. Grab a person with a big name. Step 2. Find any video that suggests trouble. Step 3. Attach the video to a tragedy to imply a hidden thread. Step 4. Promise a shocking connection. Step 5. Repeat until the views plateau. The only cure is audiences who reward the opposite: humility, speed with caution, and clear labels. So what does accountability look like on our side? It looks like telling you what we don't know yet. It looks like linking outcomes to papers, not feelings. It looks like separating a feud from a homicide, even when the pairing is tempting. It looks like refusing to say confirmed without a public document. It looks like correcting ourselves if something we reported turns out incomplete. That's how trust is built, one careful sentence at a time. There's a reason investigators asked for patience. Targeted attacks often rely on planning that leaks in unusual ways. A burner phone that wasn't as clean as someone thought. A rideshare account that overlaps with a contact list. A shell casing that matches a gun from a prior case. A camera reflection in a storefront window. None of that shows up in a TikTok the morning after. It shows up months later in a complaint, with exhibits. If you're here for the people behind the headlines, hear this. Ariela's friends posted memories that sounded like gratitude, not clout. Co-workers wrote about her kindness. Community figures mourned her publicly. Those notes speak to a life lived out loud, but grounded in work. She wasn't just a prop in someone else's beef. She was her own center. And if you're here for the media literacy, carry these checks. Match dates. Separate arrests from charges and charges from convictions. Distinguish federal from state. Notice when an outlet teases a link but never states it on the record. Notice when creators reuse a clip without telling you when or where it was shot. Notice when thumbnails promise case closed, but scripts hedge with allegedly. That mismatch is your signal to click away. One more truth none of the flashy edits will tell you. Silence from investigators is not proof that they have nothing. It is often proof that they have something they don't want to spook. When police say, "We are withholding details," believe them. It means there are witnesses to protect, phones to clone, and timelines to lock before someone gets tipped off. So here's how we'll move going forward. We will watch court calendars, not gossip. We will check police pages before we check comment threads. We will show you the filing when we say a thing is filed. We will name the agency and the date. We will let the record breathe. If you want hype, the internet has plenty. If you want the record, we're right here. And yes, we see the messages. People want to know if the feud finally crossed the line into something irreversible. The honest answer today is that we don't know. The only thing worse than not knowing would be pretending we do. When a case breaks, it's always suddenly. One morning there's an announcement. One afternoon there's a perp walk. Until then, everything that looks like closure is just wishful thinking in a high-contrast filter. If this clarity helped you, support Scandal News. Like the video, subscribe, and ring bell. Share this with someone who's tired of rage bait and wants verified info. Comment the one rumor you're done believing, and drop the next case you want us to break down. Your click pushes truth above noise. Your share puts facts ahead of fake. Heat. Stay sharp, stay curious, and stay with us for clean reporting without the shiny shut.